Video editing is one of the most influential skills that you can learn in 2024, heading into 2025, which you can actually get high-paying clients as a freelancer. Hi guys, my name is Ayan, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my experiences of if I had to start video editing all over again, then how would I actually do it? Personally, I started video editing in 2020 when, of course, video editing was the whole hype, content creation was the whole hype, and everybody was just on YouTube uploading many different types of videos. And I don't know, I just had to get in there and see what I can do for myself. So sit down, get a pen and paper because you might want to take notes. But before we get started, I have just one message for you guys, is that I am actually starting my own Patreon account, my own Patreon page, in which you guys, especially those fans out there, could actually see and get exclusive content other than watching my videos on YouTube and Instagram. So if you're keen in joining the video editing hub, which I actually call it, then I'll have the link of my Patreon in the link down below in the description. So hopefully please do check it out. But anyway, let's get straight into the video. Point number one is that starting with the fundamentals. Of course, in 2020, I was just a simple teenager. I didn't have any plans of starting video editing or even starting content creation because I actually had no idea if I was even good enough to be a content creator or such and such a video editor. So I'll actually tell you guys a story. It's that back in 2020, during my school holidays, my summer holidays, I was just watching YouTube on my kitchen table like a usual teenager would. And my dad came into the room and he saw that I was just watching YouTube videos for the past 2 weeks. And he was just like, Ayan, why don't you, instead of watch YouTube videos, try to actually create YouTube videos? And I was just like, just mind blown. I was like, what, can you actually create YouTube videos? Like, am I legally allowed to do that, make YouTube videos? I thought first of all that video editing was just some thing that you're chosen to, like you're the chosen one, on YouTube. And I was just like mind blown, like, what, me, YouTube videos? And that's how actually the journey began. And I thought to myself that, oh, maybe I actually should try and make a YouTube video. So that same day, I grabbed my iPhone and filmed a short 1-minute video and I uploaded onto YouTube. And basically, I just did all of this for fun. I didn't have any plans of becoming a huge YouTuber, a huge content creator, make money out of this. I just did it for the sake of having fun. So I basically did this for the past 3.5, 4 years before starting this channel for professional reasons, but I had no intention of actually learning the fundamentals. I just came across Filmora and started playing around and, seeing what effects I can do, seeing what types of, cuts and pastes I can do on the whole video editing software. And I didn't have any plan of learning tutorials or, making money out of this. It's just, simple playing with the software and doing what I can. So step number one is learn your fundamentals as quickly as possible. Learn how to cut, learn how to paste, learn how to, use different types of edits, use the different effects, use in terms of the availability of your own video editing software. Basically, every single video editor has to know these little fundamentals because these fundamentals are the basics behind your very professional video editing that you will do later on. But in terms of getting started, learn your fundamentals as quickly as possible. And of course, you can learn these fundamentals in any ordinary or old software. You don't have to have Premiere Pro or the most highest hi-fi softwares just to learn your fundamentals. Find a free software that you can, learn the fundamentals on and just get started with that. Because what many beginner video editors choose to do is that they'll think, oh, I'm going to make a huge amount of money out of this and, I'll have clients every single month just paying me consistent money for the work I do. And they just invest in the most, hi-fi, the most expensive video editing software, and they fail to learn the fundamentals or even the most basic of basic edits, and they find out that they just wasted their whole money on this software. So take a free software, any software, and just learn the basics. And this brings me up to point number 2, or step 2 of this journey, is that once you've mastered the fundamentals and you have a good, quick, easy access to what edits you can do and how you can do them, it's time to pick your very own software where you're going to actually do majority of your work. Now, for me personally, I started with Filmora and I've continued with Filmora throughout this day because I found it as the most easiest software for me, and it was the first software that I actually knew about besides Premiere Pro, which is obviously a paid software. So for you guys, it might be that you started with CapCut or you started with DaVinci Resolve and you've just continued with that. But some of us have tried different softwares and maybe are like, maybe I don't really like this software, or I just don't find the assets or elements in the software nice to use in my videos. So you have the opportunity to change your software and make sure to master it to the highest ability as possible. So I chose for more, to the point where I mastered every single element, every single editing piece, editing trick in that software, where now I just don't feel like changing it. And if I did change, then I'd probably ruin my whole progress, which I did in these last 4 years. So step 2 is pick a software, any software, and master it to your highest abilities. Every software has its plus and minuses. Some might have good rendering, some might have good effects, some might have good transitions, some might be available in many formats, edit in many different formats, some might be free from the start, and some might be paid because of many other reasons, but they all have their own reasons. So what I suggest you do is that you pick wisely. I'll have a few articles in the description down below for you to know and compare each different video editing software, from Adobe Premiere Pro to Filmora to CapCut, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, and many other different softwares out there. Now you could say this is step number 3, or this correlates with step number 2, is that binge watch all tutorials. And I mean all tutorials for the video editing software that you're using. So as you're obviously learning and trying to master your software, make sure to not just play around with it, because it's better to learn from someone else than actually making the mistakes yourself and taking a long time to learn the software. So if you want quicker results, more faster way of learning, then I suggest you binge watch tutorials like suppose mine, where I made my own video editing course on YouTube, so you can go watch that as well on my other channel. But if you are, let's say, using CapCut as your main editing software, then there are so many different creators out there who have made tutorials, 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes even 10 hours worth of tutorials on CapCut. And you'll find the same for every single software out there. What this does is basically, of course, you're gonna fail faster, you're gonna learn faster as well, meaning that the time it takes for you to master the skill is gonna decrease by a lot, and the amount of skills that you're gonna gain in binge watching these tutorials is way more greater. Secondly, you'll be ahead of around 95% of people or video editors who fail to master their own video editing software just because of their own arrogance, of their own stupidity, you could say. This will give you a major advantage to when you want to get clients, and of course when you portray your work to them and say that I've mastered this skill and that skill on this software for quite a long time. So now you know what editing software you want to use. You've now mastered the fundamentals and of course mastered your whole editing software. What do you do next? My suggestion is video editing and content creation is changing throughout time, and the most important thing about us humans is our attention. Our attention is so priceless, is that's what makes creators get paid a lot, is how frequently and how long you could keep viewers' attentions on your video. So if you want viewers, if you want your clients to be happy on the retention of their videos, you have to know retention editing. Retention editing is one of those skills where not many video editors can do, and it's not about just copy and pasting different elements and different editing, graphics on your video. It's about what makes a viewer click at a certain point of your video and makes them intrigued to watch the whole video through. Now you could say, Ayan, this is just a content creation advice. Why is it for me as a video editor that I need to know this type of stuff? Well, as a video editor, you need to know different types of editing pieces and editing tricks which can keep your viewer interested throughout the whole video. A good way to do this is by adding sound effects. People love to hear and people love to listen to videos, and sometimes if there's not enough sound effects or if there's not good quality sounds, people will click off your video. So what I suggest is that you learn retention editing, you understand why viewers want to click and watch your video, why do they want to watch the video in the first place, and how can I make the client happy in terms of the retention of the video. I have a few plans of creating my own playlist on retention editing, so you guys can learn from that. But for now, there are a few links in the description down below in which you can learn video editing and retention editing from scratch. And retention editing is different for both short form and long form. Preferably short form is much more important because people's attention spans are less than a goldfish nowadays. So my advice is you start with short form, because if you want to make the most amount of money, in terms of viral content editing, then I suggest that you go with short form content, understand retention editing for short form content. If you want a little, let's say, analysis or tips or tricks that I can give you, I might suggest you analyze my own shorts and how I use retention editing to keep viewers watching the shorts. But after short form, long form content is the best way to keep viewers watching, because of course it's a very long video and keeping viewers watching that video is more priceless than short form video. For retention editing, I also recommend you look at many different creators, high level creators such as Iman Gadzi, Ali Abdal, Mr. Beast as well, who are so good at retention editing. I recommend you guys look at the most viral videos, study them, understand what types of elements, edits, and graphics they've used in their videos and why they've used them. Take a notepad and write down every single edit that they've done in the last 10 seconds and understand why they've done that. And this brings me on to my next tip, is that observe social media trends. Because social media is a vast trend network with different videos being uploaded on different times with different styles on them, the style and trend of which video editing is taking place nowadays on videos is also changing. Back then it was the most simplistic videos, not much editing in them from 2000 to 2005. And then from 2005 up to 2015, it was all high level editing, making sure that no viewer is stopping to watch the video and that every single edit, every single second of that video is so crucial. And from 2015 onwards till now, we have many videos that are so minimalistic, meaning that they don't require so much editing, but it's based upon the story that the creator is providing. Of course, there are some abstract editing techniques which you can use, and I do recommend watching a few videos on how you can do those, especially videos like Iman Gadzi and Ali Abdal. These guys, they have their own unique video editing style, and I do recommend you guys learn their styles as well, because there are so many clients out there, so many jobs out there which require you as a video editor to know how to edit these types of video. I have seen a few tutorials on YouTube where you can learn these types of editing tricks and techniques, so I'll also have them in the description down below, so please don't forget to check that out. And going through to my last and final point of this video is that learn secondary skills. I personally have made this mistake of just staying in the same position, just continuously using the same editing techniques in all my videos. What I've noticed is that because video editing changes over time, I didn't upgrade my skill set in video editing to actually match those other videos. So what I recommend is that you learn motion graphics, you learn animation, you learn different types of editing techniques like I shared in this video. You learn different types of transitions, retention editing as well. All of these skills combined make you a professional video editor. And these skills alone will help you get more jobs, more clients for your video editing services. Of course, nothing satisfies more than viewers and of course job owners who want to see you having a higher skill set and bringing more forward towards your videos or their video. Of course, knowledge nowadays is pretty much endless. There are so many resources, so many ways you can learn these types of techniques and skills online. So there's literally no excuse for you guys to not know and not understand how these techniques work. Again, if you have trouble finding these resources though, I'll have every single thing in this video linked in the description down below. So go ahead, check that out. And of course, make sure to join my Patreon page, because over there I'll be posting exclusive content, maybe behind the scenes as well, of how I make these videos and what my content creation process is. But other than that, if you guys really enjoyed this video, then please go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and comment. This is my new channel after all, and I've only uploaded the second video. So make sure you guys share this channel with everyone who wants to learn video editing and also content creation as well. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow or next week. I don't know when, but hopefully next week. Peace.